You're tuned in to Spiritual Wellness with Sonia Cole, airing every second Saturday, 2 to 2:30 p.m. on Wellington Access Radio, 783 AM. Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Wellness with Sonia Cole. This afternoon we are changing the format a little and we're doing an interview, and today's guest is Basha. Now Basha and I have been friends for a long time, some 7 years in fact. Basha and I first met when we attended an evening with Tabash where we listened to spiritual guidance from him, and we've since developed a long friendship with Tabash and continue to enjoy that relationship. Now today Basha is going to talk about the work that she's come to do, and I will just introduce you to her right now. And welcome Basha to the show. How are you doing?
Hi Sonia, great to be here. It's a real privilege to take part in your radio show today, and I believe we're going to talk about my constellation work that I do in Wellington and New Zealand and around the world. Is that right?
That's right, yes. I really want to hear how you have begun to create your Soul Care New Zealand and the main focus, which I believe is about constellation work, and if you could please describe that for us, for our listeners and myself. I understand you're a certified facilitator. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
I'm happy to talk about the work. I came across constellation work some 15 years ago when I was living in Switzerland. A friend of mine handed me a flyer saying, "This work is beyond belief, Basha. Why don't you go along and join the workshop?" Without any hesitation or conscious thinking, I booked and experienced this 2-day workshop in constellation work. The facilitator guided me in setting up a constellation on an issue that had been with me since my teenage years. And this issue was like an invisible force reoccurring, and no matter what I did, I could not find resolution for it. And what was astounding is that after that, I experienced shifts in all my relationships with other family members. And I also experienced this moving on in my own life fully for the first time, that I could really take a stand in my own life, whereas before I always had this feeling of being a little bit lost, not knowing the right place, feeling like I didn't belong anywhere. So this work just gripped me so much that I started to do study back in New Zealand. I studied and continued on to train with Bert Hellinger and Sophie Hellinger in Austria over the period of 5 years, and I'm now a certified Hellinger Ciencia facilitator.
That sounds really great, Basha. Can you explain for us what is a constellation?
A constellation is a healing modality. We're working with the energy field, and this is the energy field that we are intimately connected to all the time. This field transcends space and time, and we're connected all the time to our ancestors, back our female lineage, our male lineage, and also everyone in our community, also the different connections we have with organisations that we're involved in. So when we actually have a look at this energy field, the constellation process is able to access the invisible dynamics and the hidden realms of our family systems. And this life force of the family system is carried by energy between generations. And as a facilitator, we've got the opportunity to go into that energetic field of our ancestors and our clients' ancestors to discover something that's not seen, and that is propelling different things in our life in a positive or a negative way. And of course, people that want to come and work with us as facilitators, they want to work on the negative things because all the positives in their life are already given. So when we set up a constellation, a person will come to us with their burning issue, and whether we're working in a private setting or in a group setting, they come and sit down next to us, and we simply tune into them. There is no need for any great talking or stories about their personal or family history. Just a simple short sentence is needed, like I just need to know what is their burning issue. It may be emotional, physical, a spiritual issue. It might be a reoccurring migraine. It might be depression. It might be the inability to make decisions in their life. And then, for a moment, I ponder and I look at this person in the wider energetic field of their family system. And I have a sense of where I need to start working with them, for we are working from the root cause of this symptom they're experiencing, and through great love and integrity we're going to bring together what was separated. And that actually means that most of our burning issues that we have are actually entanglements in our family web. And an entanglement in our family web is when a heavy fate has occurred somewhere in our ancestry, and it is usually someone who has been not honoured enough, who has been rejected, who perhaps died young, who was lost during the war. And whatever their suffering is, there is a need for balance within any system, whether it's a family system or we're looking at nature as achieving balance in a healthy way. Then what happens is that someone in the next generation will pick up the burden of this lost or rejected or excluded person in the ancestry. And those symptoms are lived out by this person, who then experiences perhaps a chronic migraine or feelings of not belonging or feeling lost or confused in their life. And it is like an invisible force because it's an entanglement. It's something that plays out in their lifetime and has a strong hold on them. And no matter what other ways they've found to try and solve this problem or try and get rid of the problem, the issue still remains. And that's when constellation work is an extremely powerful and profound way of working from the root cause to resolution.
Thanks, Basha. That sounds really interesting. Can you tell us how a workshop would take place?